Right there is one of my homemade exhaust clamps that I just did a test fit on the muffler for the first time. Try to get it to a place where you can see it. It's a piece of my 2¼ inch exhaust tubing, cut and slit with souped up angle brackets welded on there, and then with a little bit of a spacer and a nut and a bolt. That nut and bolt are from Jetta strut hangers. Yeah. So yeah, boneyard parts and hand fabrication. Way to go, man. Okay, here we have the exhaust pipe. There's the end that goes into the muffler, which is right there. We swoop down to it and swoop up again with a grainy video, and what I did was I took this, and you can see that there are stitch welds there. I did the usual thing where I took and I slit the pipe and hammered it in and welded it to it, and there it is. That is my exhaust pipe. And whoops, tripping over the wire here. That is the exhaust pipe. I got to trim about this much off the end, because it goes way into the muffler, farther than it needs to really. So I'm going to trim it off right about there, and that will be that, and then we're good. Cool, man. Sounds good. Then we're going to put it in place and make the hangers. I got to make a couple more clamps. This is a clamp that I made. You can see it's a piece of actually this pipe slit with some souped up angle brackets on there. I made my own little wedge bushing to clamp it flat, and there you have it. Looks good now, don't it? Yeah. So anyway, I got 2 more pieces here that I can make more of that stuff, and then we're good. Yeah, totally. Cool. And now we're gonna make the exhaust mounts that weld to the frame. Here we've got my piece of 1-inch tubing and a fish mouth piece of 3/4 square. I'm gonna center it on that and then weld it up. And then, as I mentioned in one of the last videos, here's my Triumph Spitfire suspension bushing that is going to go right in there and hang the exhaust from. So, unfortunately I don't have a helper to hold the thing to watch me weld, but here we go. Here's the exhaust mount on the side of the 3-wheeler, pre-welded. This is before I've welded the tabs onto the pipe itself, but you can see there's my little frame mount right there. It's an angled piece of tube. I think this thing's going to work out really nicely. Goes down the side of the chassis, matches it angle for angle pretty nicely, even though it's kind of angling downward from the back, but that's okay. And then the next thing I'll have to do, once I get that welded, is mate that end to that end. And I have the megaphone that I made a few nights ago, and I got some more bends, so I'm thinking things are looking pretty groovy right now. But I gotta weld this right now, so that's what I'm gonna do. Down tube with my homemade megaphone, going from the 1.5 inch at the top to the 2 inch at the bottom, right there. Oops, I need to finish a weld right there, don't I? Yeah, I do. But yeah, so this is what's gonna mate the header to the exhaust pipe, and then I gotta figure out some more clamping and make another mount for the top of the header where it drops down over the suspension, and things are looking good. Yep. So I've got I'm gonna turn around here. I know it's a little grainy, but you can walk along, and I don't know if you can see right there. There's the mount, and right there are the 2 pipes I have to mate. I'm gonna wind up cutting that down pipe from that header there. I'm gonna cut that I'm gonna have to cut some of that off, and then we'll see what I got to do to mate it to the exhaust pipe going back. But that's coming out all right too. Yay! 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 Hand fabricating.